Hello, welcome. My name is Opindako. Welcome. I want to share with you four reasons that business failed. 4 reasons that business failed. 4 reasons that business that you were so much passionate about, that you thought was going to work out, failed. You probably had read a lot. You were so convinced. You probably even heard from God that start that business. And maybe they gave you prophecy. And you started that business. Maybe it started to work well. And then somewhere along the line, things started to go opposite to your expectations. So I just want to assume or predict, or maybe, share with you some of the reasons I think that business failed. Why some of those businesses that you started fail. Entrepreneurship is a very tough game. It's very difficult. A lot of people don't win that quickly. Many people will go through all kind of channels, all kind of ways before they start to win. And so I did say that if you started and it didn't work, it may not be out of norm. It may just be part of the game, just part of the process, just part of the stages that you're going to go through. Some people take it very, they take it too extreme when they fail at anything, especially business. I can understand when it's a small business and it fails, when it's just something we just started and it didn't pick. But if you commit about 5 years, 10 years, 8 years of your life into building a business and it fails, that one, you cannot take it lightly. But I want to assure you that you will fail somewhere. So just be ready for it. It's part of it. The factors that make businesses to succeed are there. And there are factors that make businesses to fail. And if you cross them, you feel the heat. So when it doesn't work out, there are probably some reasons that you may not have taken notice. That's why it didn't work. So the number one that I would say is that weak sense of purpose. Weak sense of purpose can make that business fail. A lot of people think that I want to start business so that I will make money. I want to become rich. That's why I start business. That's why I became an entrepreneur. If that is your reason, fantastic. But that appears to be a weak one. Because if it's money that you want to make, that's why you want to become an entrepreneur, I think there are easier ways to make money than to start business. If it is your sole aim of starting a business just to make money, then there are far better ways to make money than to start a business. I think the problems are too many. The troubles are too many. The work has to be too long before you start to make money. So if it's because of money that you started that business, then it's likely that was a weak purpose. And that is why when things got very tough, you gave up on yourself and you gave up on your dream. So weak sense of purpose is probably one of the reasons why that business that you started did not work out as you intended to work, and then you gave up. So you didn't know why you started that business. You didn't even understand who needed that business. was there any sense of purpose? Why do you think you offered those products or those services? Why were you not sleeping night and day to push that product, to push that service to the market? And why did you give up? A lot of the times, the only thing that will keep going, that will keep you going, is when you have a very strong sense of purpose as an entrepreneur, as a business person. A lot of the time, so many times, why you always keep going when everybody else has given up is that you can connect it with something that is deeper than what everybody else is looking at. And that thing usually is also far deeper than just making money. Just making money. Because if you just want to make money, then there are so many ways. I don't have to tell you. There are far easier ways to make money than to start a business. So it's probably because your sense of purpose was weak. That's why the business did not work out. So you gave up. When you met a lot of challenges, you met a lot of problems, because businesses, you meet problems. And you can't count on them. You can't count them. No matter how well prepared you are, no matter how skilled you are, how strong you are, the problems will come. The problems will come, and they will test your resilience. They will test your character. They will test your strength. They will test everything that you understand. And a lot of the times, people who don't have very strong sense of purpose will give up on that business. So one of the reasons, major reasons why a lot of the times we give up and the business does not work, because we didn't have a very strong sense of purpose for that business. So we didn't know, okay, I am starting a waste processing company. Why am I starting it? Because I see that there are a lot of waste everywhere, and not many people are paying attention. And if I'm able to start this business, maybe in the community that I do it, I set up that business, I'll be able to employ a lot of these young men and women. Maybe I'll be able to have a cleaner environment, which will help people to live long. These are strong reasons. Then maybe along the line I'll make money. This is strong reason. So when you start and you go through all the state agencies and all the other people, and they tell you that no, we don't want to hear. Everywhere you turn, there is negative response. Everywhere you turn, people are insulting you. Because you see something far greater than yourself, you will not just throw in the towel. So that sense of mission. Why did you start that cocoa business? Why did you start that wache business? Why did you start that? That whatever business that you started, why did you start that? A lot of the times you believe that this is what I want to do with my life. So I have no other option but to build this business. That's a strong sense of purpose. You believe that this is what connects with you. This is what you're gifted to do. As a matter of fact, some people even call it, this is my mission. This is my calling. So if you have that kind of definition, no matter what you meet, you will still find a way to make it work, because you have that high strength, sense of purpose. So you meet anybody who does not have that, you can see it in the way they talk. They go 2 hours to look for something and they don't get, the car home, they don't want to go again. They give up on themselves. When they go out, they see all the negatives. They don't see the positive, because they have a weak sense of purpose. They see why everybody does not listen to them. They see why there is no successful business in that sector, because they have weak sense of purpose. But if you have a very strong sense of purpose and it's really defined, not only in your head, not only in your spirit, but also on paper, you write something strong down. That sense will keep you going when everybody else is giving up. The next one is when you have wrong team, bad team. When you connect with bad people to start a business, or wrong people, not bad people, wrong people to start business. They may be good people, but they may not be fit with you to start a business, or they may not be the people to start that kind of business. When you have a wrong team, you will not focus on the things that should make the business work. You spend a lot of time fighting over things that have nothing to do with the business, fighting over trivialities, fighting over things that don't really matter to the course of the business. So If you have a wrong team, the business will not even start in the first place. And even if when the business started, and maybe the business started and you were doing well, and the teams switch, there were a lot of fightings and a lot of disagreement. The business will fail unless you change that team. Can you imagine football team? Like I remember when Ghana was playing somewhere and the boys were fighting, even though they were very skilled footballers. I think it's Brazil or somewhere. They were very skilled footballers, professionals, but because they were not of the same mind during that time, they couldn't bring anything home. So you can have very strong, good skilled people in the team, but you must share that mission. You must be on the same page. You must be committed to making the business work. And so probably the business is not work because you had the wrong partner or because you had wrong employees to work with you, or whoever was with you was not well placed. So the business will fail a lot of the times too when you don't have good team. Good team. Not just partners alone, but employees. If you get good people to work with, sometimes it can just be one person. If that person is the right fit, the work becomes very much enjoyable. The business you're so happy to go to work. You're so happy to connect. You're so happy every time there are new ideas that you're generating, just because you have created a very strong, solid team. And the proof of this, the strength of the team is when things are not working. When things are not working, the team that you have, there is no problem that is stronger than a committed team. So once you have committed team and you're all looking for the good of the business, you're all taking care of, so you have strength in something, another person has strength in something, you put the two strengths together, you will win, no matter the troubles. Even if the idea is not working, sometimes a lot of the times you will be able to figure out which kind of thing that you have to do for the idea to work, or for a different idea to work, just because you have a good team. So the business probably did not work a lot of the times. If you sit back and look and do your own, post-mortem, if you want, if you sit down to do your own calculation, you will see that it did not work because so likely that the people who were around you at that time with the business were not the right people. So the business a lot of the times would fail because the team was a wrong team, was a weak team. You can't go to war to win if you don't have the strong team to go to war. The football team will not win if the team is not strong. If it's a weak team, everybody is looking for their own glory, the team will fail. The business will fail. So the second reason why the business did not work is that you had a wrong team. You had somebody who was stealing the money. You had somebody who was not being open. You had somebody who was just hiding the ideas. You had somebody who would see things not working, but they will not tell you. You had somebody who was giving information to another person. You had somebody who was not bringing any input, who was just there for themselves. If you see these things, even if you are in the business now and you see these things, if you don't change them, if you don't correct them, the business will fail. It's a sign that the business is going to fail. So the business probably failed. And a lot of the times, it's not even probably, it failed because you had the wrong team. You didn't have a solid team at all. There's no business if you don't have a good team. There's no business, especially if you're building a company. There's no company if you don't have good people to work with. So you're always looking for the best of the team, the best of people, the best of skill, people with good heart, with good skill, with good work ethics, with good commitment. You're always looking for somebody like that. Because if you don't get people like that, business is very tough to succeed and to succeed alone, especially if you want to do something beyond money, beyond making money. If you want to build something, you have a dream, you have a product that you want to bring to the market, you have a service, you have something that you want to change, there's something that you want to bring, a business that you want to build, you would always need a good team to work with. So if the business failed, sit back and check. It's so likely that you didn't have a good team. And if the business worked, sit back and check as well. It's so much likely that you had a good team. You had people, good partners that you connected with. And that's why it worked. That's why it worked. So it's not just one person's idea. It's not just one person's input. It's a product. Business success is a product of team effort. It's people coming together towards a specific mission for a specific purpose, and they were ready to sacrifice everything to make it work. And that's why it worked. So if it didn't work, it means that you didn't have people who were ready to sacrifice everything that they had, the time. You don't want to have an employee in your small business or in the business that you have started who is always looking at his time. He doesn't come to work on time. He comes late and he wants to leave early. He just shows up for the salary. The business will not work because there are minimum, or you have got to make some input in terms of hours. Some people say that you have to work smart. No problem, work smart, but a lot of the times it will take a lot of hard work for that company to succeed, for that business to work. And so if you don't have people who are really committed to make the hours, the business will not get the traction for it to work well. So one of the best decisions that you're going to make as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is the kind of people that you bring to work with you, the kind of people you partner with, directly or indirectly. Some will bring you a lot of good results, and some will also bring you a lot of bad results if you really don't look at it intentionally. So one of the reasons, the second reason why your business does not work is because you had a weak team. People who were not committed to the mission of the business. People who were there, but they were not there. Were there, but they were not there. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about 4 reasons that that business did not work out as you intended it, that you failed. The business failed. And there are reasons why businesses fail. And I'm talking of 4 of them today. So my first one is that there was weak sense of purpose. And the second one is that you didn't have a solid team, a strong team. You didn't have the right team. And that's why you didn't have the commitment, the required hours for the business to work. The next one will be wrong financial decisions and choices. The third one will be the financial decisions that you made when you were running the business. A lot of the times, maybe you took loan, which you didn't have to take. Maybe you took too much interest. You took loan that you didn't need. Maybe the way you structured the payment terms with your suppliers or with the people you work with, the cash flow was an issue. Maybe you took too many employees that you didn't have to take. Maybe you rushed to open the shop that you didn't have to. Maybe the rent was too much. Maybe you took too much products, and a lot of the money went. A lot of the decisions that had to do with money probably went wrong, and that's why the business failed. And one thing about business is that when it fails, it's not that it's failed though. Other things will show up and much of it will become debt. So it's so likely that the business does not work out because your financial decisions were weak. Your financial decisions were not right. And that's why the business failed. So if you want it to work, if you want the business to work, then you would have to look at how am I going to make the right forward. If you want the business to work. If you don't want the business to work, then continue to enjoy. Maybe you bought the nice car too early. Maybe you took money from the business to build your house too early. Maybe you changed the school of your children too early. Maybe you started to wear nice shoes too early. Maybe you started to dodge the government officials too early. Maybe you paid too much bribe. So which means that your financial decisions. One thing about business success is that if you don't have the right financial scale, it's so likely that you'll fail. The business will fail. Most businesses fail because of wrong financial choices and decisions. Most businesses fail because of wrong financial decisions. Most businesses fail because of wrong financial decisions. Because once the financials start to weaken, the business is in trouble. So if you see businesses working, it means that the people who are making some right decisions, they are making right decisions in terms of the finances as well. And so if it's, maybe you increase the salary when you didn't have to increase the salary. maybe you change some things too fast, or maybe you decided not to pay some people. All those will culminate into you having troubles in the business, and business pressure. When it continues like that, it gets to a point, it blows up, and then the business will work normal. So when you have a business that you're working, look at the cash flow, look at how the money is coming in, and look at how the money is going out. And if you're able to make right decisions on that, it's so likely that your business will go well. If you're modest with your decisions and with your expenses, if you're able to track a lot of the things that if you're able to stay out of a lot of these they call them predatory what is it? They call them businesses with big loans, high interest loans. If you stay out of those, maybe it's so likely that you'll be able to make sure that the business works. So if it didn't work, if you sit back, you will see that a lot of your decisions financially were wrong, and that's why the business didn't work. A lot of decisions financially were wrong, and that's why the business did not work. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about 4 reasons why your business failed, that the business failed. And I'm saying that businesses fail. And most successful businesses business people have had a lot of failures. So it will fail. Especially if you are unskilled and are not network and you don't have a lot of financial skill and information, it's so likely that the business, you will crash it. It's like you learning how to drive. It's so likely that you get accident. But if you don't give up, you become a good driver. So the same. If you didn't pay attention to some of these things, the business probably failed because of those. So the third one I'm talking about is bad financial decisions, wrong financial choices. They will contribute to you failing the business that quick. So wrong financial decisions will contribute to you failing. The fourth one is weak business leadership. The one leading the business was weak. Sometimes you have to say no to some things. Sometimes you have to say yes to some things, even if they agree or they don't agree. Because you have some kind of because if you're the one leading the business, if you're the one if you started the business, there are some things that you see that the other people will not see. There are some some courage that you have got to have some courage to stop some things before it's too late. A lot of the times you have to say no to a lot of these things that take money from the pocket, or bring, for instance, some people will come and say, oh, take my son, take my daughter to work with you. And you know that your finances cannot take that daughter. Now, if you're not strong as a leader, you just say, okay, come, no problem. Meanwhile, when you pick them, they are going to be paid. And if you don't pay them, they will go and talk, or it becomes debt on you. If you have strong leadership, you stand with your words to say that, no, at this stage, the business can take 2, the business can take 1 person, business can take this kind. You're very solid with your financial decisions, with your leadership skill. A lot of the times you can say that, in this business, we don't cut corners, we don't take bribe, we don't pay bribe. Some of those things you have to be firm. Or, this kind of people I'm not going to employ again. Some strong decisions the leader must take. And once he understands them, he must have the courage to deal with any ramification, any problems that will come out of that decision. A lot of the times businesses will fail because you decided not to provide the right leadership needed for the business to work. Because the business must have leadership. And if you started the business and you're leading the business, you must provide the right kind of leadership. If you fail to provide that, the business will fail. The business will fail. And when the business fails, it's not demon, it's not Satan, it's you. You fail to take bold decisions. You fail to stop some things. You fail to apply some things. A lot of the times you even know the things that you have to apply. A lot of the times you even know what to apply, but you still want consensus. You still want everybody to agree with you. There are things that you could have stopped. And now that you are looking back, you said, I should have stopped this thing. I should have stopped this thing. But you didn't stop it. because you lack the courage. You are not a tough leader. You are not a strong leader. You didn't provide the right leadership, and that's why the business failed. Sometimes it's very tough for people to accept that they didn't have the right skill, leadership skill. You didn't have the right leadership skill, because if you're leading a business, if you're leading a business, even if it's yourself, there are a lot of things that you must have. One of it is the right leadership skills. If the leadership in that business is weak, the business is going to collapse. So, I put my sister there, I put my brother there, I trusted him. He was very faithful. So I was not checking. So when it failed, it's because you were weak. As simple as that. Which means that if it's going to work again, that you must change that. It's business. You're providing the leadership. If it's not working, it's because you, the leader, you're not working. That's why it's not working. If you see any business that is working well, it's because those in charge are really working well. That's why. Because you are the one to decide where the money is going. You are the one to decide who works there and who doesn't work where. You are the one to decide which supplier to deal with, not which the leadership of the business. You are the one making all the decisions. You are engineering everything. So if it's not working, we cannot blame any other person but you. Which means if you failed, because you failed to provide the right leadership. You didn't know that you were the one responsible for the business to succeed. And that's why it failed. And that's why it failed. You failed to build the right culture for the business. You failed to make the right decisions on the finances. You failed to pick the right people. You failed to set the right sense of purpose for the business. And that's why the business did not work out. Which means that you had very limited understanding of business leadership. You thought that once you don't have a lot of workers, maybe you were waiting till you get 100 workers or 200 workers or 1,000 workers, 1,000 employees, then you are a big leader. No, once the business starts, in our books, in the laws on the land, you are responsible for any mess that comes up. So if you fail to provide that leadership, the business will fail. Therefore, if you sit back and you look at all the choices and the decisions that you made as a leader, what time were people coming to work? What time were they closing? Were they honest with the figures, with the services, with the product, or they would do anything that they would want? Those things. If it's not working, you go there, you as a leader should be able to figure out why it is not working by asking the right questions. And once you identify, or you assume that you have what you have identified, what is the reason the thing is not working, you must have the courage to make the right changes. And so if you refuse to make the right changes, then the thing will not work. And if it does not work, it is because you provided not the leadership that was needed. You provided weak leadership, and that's why the business failed. So it's the same with countries, the same with anything, with families, with business, with countries, with anything, that there is a leader. If the leadership is not in charge, if the leadership is not expressing what is required of leadership, then the thing will not work. And so when it fails, they say that everything rises and falls on the leader. So there's no way that we can take you out if the business is not working. You say, may I open the shop? And it was working, and I put somebody there and the person stole. Yes, they will steal. If you're sleeping, they will steal. But they can steal everything if you wake up. You should be able to get up and say, no, enough is enough. No, now you have to go. Another person would have to come. So you have to provide the leadership. And so when you go anywhere that the business is working, a lot of the times it's because the leadership is working. That's why the business is working. That's why the business is working. So if the leadership is sleeping, the business will sleep. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about why the business failed and 4 reasons that business that we started failed. Most people will meet you and talk about all the problems that they have met when they started business, or the regrets that they have. Some people will even lose their family, their marriage, because the business did not work out. When business fails, there's a lot of pressure, financial pressure, relationship pressure. Sometimes people even get sicknesses and get diseases because of business failure. Your pressure goes up. your debt, the people you owe are calling you, people who have run away with your money, all kind of things happen when businesses fail. So you don't want to go through that. But unfortunately, if you're an entrepreneur, you go through that one way or the other. It's either you crash the same business several times, or you crash one business, you leave it and go and start another one. So a lot of the people that you see around who are very successful in business, if they tell you what they have endured, you see that they have endured a lot, because businesses fail. The failure rate in the so-called economies that they say they have data, starting every 10 years, you will not have more than 10% of businesses that started within that 10 years being still around and doing well. It's very, very, the percentages are not good. In 10 years, you will still have less than 10% doing well, because the factors are many. The factors that make businesses win or successful are many. The factors that will make the business fail are many as well. So many things, from the money to all the things that they talk about. And so if you're not present, if you're not paying attention, the business will fail. And a lot of the times, if you are sincere with yourself, if you are in the middle of a pain from business failure, if you are saddled with debt everywhere, if you've been disowned by your friends and your partners, if people have been disloyal to you, lied to you, cheated you, move on with their lives. If your employees stole from you, you later found out that the business that you were building, that you were struggling, they used the money to build their house or buy a nice car or do wedding with it or travel with it, And now you come to realize that, I was sleeping. One of the things that you have to tell yourself is that, yes, it happened. What you don't want to do is to be pain and bitter and dwell on that sad story. What you have to know is that a lot of people have gone through that. So you have to pick yourself to say and to fight back so that you win. One thing I can guarantee you is that you're better off because you started that business, even though you have all kind of problems now because the business has failed. But you're better off because you started that business. Now you're wiser. So many things that you have had or you have captured or you have gained just because you went through that process. Maybe it could be a year that the business failed. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, whatever years. Your network is wider now. You are more robust and more strong. You can leverage that to start another business if you so want. And it's so likely that if you start another one, you make better decisions and choices than the previous ones, because now you're wiser. Human beings have said that we learn through mistakes a lot. People who become successful have a lot of lessons. People who know a lot now, those who have become experts in anything, it's because they have gone through a lot of pressing issues. They have been through the pressure. That's why now they are refined. If you want a pure gold, you pass it through fire. So you cannot be a purified gold and you say that they should put ice water on you. It doesn't work like that. So if you're gold, you go through the fire, you become more pure. If you're paper, you go through the fire will destroy you. So it means what are you made of? What are you tough? Can you withstand the pressure? A lot of these pressures are not supposed to kill you. The pressure that will kill you is the one that you were dishonest with, the one that you were wicked, you were the one that you were just trying to kill, be fast. And those kind of things can easily send you down. But the pressure that will not kill you is the pressure that you were honest with yourself. It's just that the process, showed your weakness. And there's difference between being wicked and being weak. The weak person is not innate to destroy people, to cheat and to lie. Just weak. Therefore, the process will, over you. And then you find yourself on the ground. But if you're wicked, then the pressure can destroy you. Then the fire can destroy you. But if you're weak, the fire can refine you because you're impure. Then the fire will make you strong. So when you come out of that fire, now your eyes are open. Now you will know who to pick. Now you will know how to spend that money. Now you will know when to send that product to the market. Now you will stay awake. You will pay attention. You track the money. Before, you were not paying attention to the money. You just send the money and you give anybody any money. Now you are paying attention. Before, you agree with to any interest rate. Now you are asking questions. Can the business pay this interest rate? Before, you didn't care about the number of employees that you are taking. Now you are looking at the employees. Are they even efficient? Are they working? Are you getting value for the money that you pay them? You're paying attention. Why? Because you have been through something. You have been through something. So, I'm talking about 4 reasons the business did not work. The business failed. I'm saying that the business will fail. By all means, if you have been in business for 10 years, for 20 years, you will know that, yes, you have gone through some troubles. Even if the business didn't fail, it came to a point the business was grounded. You had to sell everything. You probably lost everybody. You probably lost everything. A lot of the times you even thought, can I ever get out of this problem? Sometimes when entrepreneurs are going through difficulties, a lot of the times you have to have this self-talk to push yourself and to motivate yourself. Because every challenge that you meet, there will be a tipping point where the challenge will start to go down and you start to become stronger. So if you're in the middle of that, you don't have to say that I will never get out of this problem. No. The problem you will get out of if you pay attention and you fight. Don't run home and cry. Fight back. Fight back. Do some self-analysis. Sit down and check. Why did I go through this? Why did I go through it? You have to understand the environment that you operate in, your country. You have to understand the industries that succeed and the industries that don't succeed. You have to understand. Who are those who are succeeding in that industry? There are things that you have to tell yourself. Some people don't care. They will do anything to get money. If you're in that category, you should know that that's the category you are. Some people also do care. They don't want to do anything for money. They are not ready to do all kind of things just to get money. If you're that kind of person, you must have superior systems and structures for your business to work, which means that you want to stay truthful, you want to stay ethical. And once you want to stay with that, it means that a lot of the money that you have will reflect the strength of your business. Some people run businesses and the money that they get, they don't reflect the strength of the business because it's always a means, But your business, you're tough on yourself. You want to go through the due process. You want to stay with the stages. You want to be straightforward. You want to be honest. In that case, you have to be very much skilled because you're being truthful. Does not necessarily bring growth. What brings growth are the systems and the structures and how well you are skilled and the quality of decisions that you're making. Being truthful will prevent you from going down and not ever getting up, But being truthful does not really necessarily bring you growth, which means you must have the right decisions in place. You must understand the whole process. You must understand how the things are going. You must understand what you need to do to make the business successful. You must understand that if it's not working, there's something that I don't know, and that I must find that one that I don't know. So my name is Obindako. I am talking about 4 reasons that the business that you started. The 4 reasons the business failed. 4 reasons. My first reason is weak sense of purpose. Weak sense of purpose. You didn't clarify why you started that business. Why were in it in the first place? You just needed money. You're a hustler. And a lot of times, if the purpose is weak, the business will fail. Because then you have nothing to fall back and to fight with because you're just looking for money. The next one is you have wrong team. They are there only for themselves. They are not committed to the mission. They will not cover you. They go for the glory themselves. If you have a wrong team, the business because every business will go through troubles. But if you have a good team, you get together and fight back. The next one is bad financial decisions and choices. So you made a lot of financial decisions that were wrong. That's why the business failed. And the next one is you had weak leader. leadership, which means you as a business leader, you didn't provide the right leadership needed. So you were just open, you were just too weak and too open, and you were not firm with your decisions. And that's why it didn't work. So if you want it to work, then you can look at the opposite of these decisions, of these points, and hopefully it will work. But don't kill yourself because you're in the middle of a mess. If there is debt, go back and fight and talk to the people. Start the business again. Don't tell yourself that I will never do business again. Clean the wounds, give yourself some time, and fight back again. That's what it means. So that you can leverage the skill, the expertise that you have had by starting business, and at least by failing at it. And don't worry about those who laugh at you. Keep fighting. A time will come. One business will wipe off every other pain that you experience because of the ones that did not work. Because of the ones that did not work. So you just have to be straightforward with yourself, be honest with yourself, and it will work. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, tell them about it. This channel is about business, it's about entrepreneurship, it's about Africans taking charge of our economy, especially the youth. If you can't find a job, you can start a business. You just need the right skill set, just need the right mindset, and you just need the right information. It is doable. So thank you very much for watching. And if you started it and it didn't work, start another one. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you.